Hello, welcome to Mina's Bookshelf. Welcome back. If this is not the first time on my channel, I'm doing another royal reading today, and this is going to be about Queen Camilla. It's kind of a follow-up to the reading that I did in a few days ago to understand how the meeting between King Charles and Prince Harry went. And I pretty much asked about the reaction of everybody involved, everybody in the royal family, but I disregarded Camilla's thoughts and feelings about the meeting, although Camilla came up in the reading a couple of times as the Queen of Cups in reverse. In response to the question, what are King Charles' thoughts and feelings about Harry and the meeting and what his intentions are for the future? And it was clear from the card that despite his willingness to bridge the gap, to reconcile with his kid, with Prince Harry, there was an obstacle, and that was the Queen of Cups in reverse, which makes me feel that maybe Camilla is not on board with this reconciliation. Now, if you follow my readings, especially these readings about the royal family, you know that all the characters in this saga normally appear in my reading always with the same core cards. So we can expect to see the King of Cups for Charles, the Queen of Cups for Camilla, the Hermit, or the Knight of Pentacles for Harry, the Queen of Wands for Meghan Markle, Queen of Pentacles for Princess Catherine, and normally the King of Wands is Prince William. Sorry. So I'm going to use a couple of oracle cards and the Crow Tarot. And it's going to be my my usual 9 cards box with some clarification for the oracle cards. So the first cards that I want to pull is mainly about Queen Camilla's personal, energy at the moment, how she's feeling. She looked very low-key during the state visit of the U.S. president, Donald Trump, and the First Lady, Melania Trump. She seemed to be low-key, but she was also ill, apparently. In fact, she didn't attend an important family funeral for the Duchess of Kent, I think. Just the day before the big state banquet. So maybe she was really ill, or she wasn't feeling at the top. Considered also she's quite ahead with her age. We don't have the same energy that we used to have when we were young. Certainly she doesn't. She's about 80, I think, or so. Please correct me in the comments. So, Queen Camilla, personal energy at the moment. What is she going through personally? As I shuffle the cards, I would like to invite the spirit guides from the pure white light, the guardian angels, heavenly saints, God's archangels, God, creator of the universe, the Virgin Mary, the Holy Spirit, ancestors who love us and want the highest good of all, Mother Nature, my animal totem, protect me please during my readings and provide me with clarity, guidance, and inspiration. So, her personal energy, we have the sassafras, healing, self-care. So maybe, yes, it is true. She was ill. She has the sinus infection or something along these lines. She wasn't feeling well. She's probably trying now to recover. She's taking care of herself, probably limiting also the time that she's devoting to royal duties, public and official appearances, family functions as well. That would explain why she was not at the funeral the day prior to meeting the president, US president, and the first lady. So healing, self-care. Now, the main concern of this reading is to understand how she feels about Harry, how she feels about Meghan, but most of all, how she feels about this rumored reconciliation that Prince Harry is trying to make happen with his father. So let's see, what is the general energy? Around this reconciliation between Prince Harry and King Charles from Queen Camilla's perspective. Sacred space. Well, this is a card that talks about family, nest, family connection. You see how these two crow parents are protecting the nest, or protecting their babies. I would say she almost feel like she cannot really do anything about it. It really feels like this is a family matter. And it almost, this energy reflects the energy that came through the cards when I asked how Princess Catherine feels about the reconciliation, the possible reconciliation. We don't know if it has happened yet fully, if it will ever happen officially, if something solid will come out of it. But in Princess Catherine's perspective, it's something between King Charles and his kids. It really isn't up to her. However she feels about it, it's a family matter. In the end, comes down to the decision that King Charles will take. And I really feel like maybe Queen Camilla feels the same way. She understands that this is family matter, and it comes at a particular and very critical time, because King Charles is getting older, and his health is at stake here. So, the future is not a promise. We don't know how long we will be on this earth, and it's always better to keep all and make sure that all our matters, or especially family matters, are in order, especially when we can foresee that our time on this earth is limited. So whatever she feels like, and we will go into that question with the tarot, but in general, the general energy is that she's really feeling like the boundaries around this situation, no matter how she feels inside about Harry, about Meghan, maybe she's not interfering. She's not doing anything to interfere. From my previous reading, go take a look. There are so many readings that I've done about the royal family. They're all in my main playlist of videos. But in that reading that I did about the meeting and the possible reconciliation, it really felt like maybe King Charles feels like the reconciliation might not be welcomed warmly by Queen Camilla. And we all know that, according to what royal experts and royal observers have been claiming over the years, the relationship between the two, Harry and Camilla, was a rough one at some point. Okay, preparation on the bottom of the deck. She might feel like not only it's not up to her to influence in any way whatever decision King Charles will make about the reconciliation, but she also needs to get prepared to whatever comes next. Also, because her position within the royal family might change, not only as a consequence of this reconciliation, but also in the event of the passing of her husband. Okay, moving on with the tarot. So how does Queen Camilla feel about a possible reconciliation between her husband, King Charles, and his son, Prince Harry. How does Camilla truly feel about a possible reconciliation between King Charles and Prince Harry? How does she feel? This is going to be an unusually short reading. Hope it will be enjoyable and informative and entertaining, so to speak. So this is a reading for entertainment purposes only, just for the sake of speculations. I do not possess any facts. I'm not stating any facts. I'm just reading the energies of the cards. So 2 cards fell out. We have the cards to choose first is the 2 of Swords, and behind that is the Lovers. And it really confirms what I see in these cards here and what I transpire from the oracle. She cannot make a choice. It's not up to her, really. This is a choice that is in somebody else's hands, and it's about King Charles. I mean, if it was up to her, I would say with these 2 cards, she would probably say no. She would put a stop. These 2 swords crossing are a no card, a stop card for me. And she would probably say no to the reconciliation, personally. But she's not even able to express clearly how she feels about it. And this is why we have the 2 of Swords, and she's blindfolded here. That's her energy. She would rather not interfere. She would rather not say how she feels about it. But deep inside, I would say if it was up to her, she would say no. One more. How does Camilla really feel about a possible reconciliation? 2 of Wands. There's a sort of equanimity, if this is a word, I think it is, in the sense that she's not letting her personal preferences, her personal opinion, her personal feelings interfere. She's standing on the threshold. She's not expressing an opinion. She's not clearly letting anybody know how she feels this, because she understands that this is a family matter and it's about blood connections. She doesn't have a blood connection with Harry. And it really isn't up to her to decide if this guy will be welcome back in the folds of the royal family. She's not expressing her opinion. She's probably thinking and pondering. She has her opinion, but she keeps it to herself. How does she feel about Harry in general? How does Queen Camilla feel about Harry? So this is how she feels about the possibility of reconciliation. She's keeping herself kind of distant. She's trying to stay out of the decisional process of whatever decisions are being made by the crown, by the establishment, by the royal institution, or personally by King Charles on a very personal level. But how does she feel about Harry? How does she feel about Harry? How does Camilla feel about Harry? I think we got our 3 cards in one swoop. We have the World card. We have the 6 of Swords. And we have the 7 of Pentacles. No cards that might indicate a particular emotion here. It's more about, waiting and seeing how things develop here with the 7 of Pentacles. She's probably expecting Harry to vastly improve his situation, to finally remove himself from a rough rough waters, rough circumstances, difficult circumstances, and achieving some sort of success here with the World card. I'm actually really surprised to see how Queen Camilla is more, let's say, balanced, emotionally balanced about this whole saga, this whole brouhaha. I was expecting her to be more emotional about it. I was expecting the cards to tell me something different, like she doesn't like Harry, she doesn't get along with him, she doesn't want him, she's opposing, like some also some media outlets are trying to make us believe that there's this opposition, that there's this battle, internal battle in the family for power, for attention, for love, and that she wants Charles all to herself. From these cards, what I see is that she's actually being extremely rational about the situation. First of all, it's none of her business in a way. It's not her territory. It's not a decision for her to make if it's the case to let this man into the family or no. And she also seems to be like very observant. She's just observing how things are going for him. She's actually, she feels like things for Harry are actually getting better. And they are, if the trend that he has, showed until now, like distancing himself from Meghan, from her business ventures, taking a more of a solo role when it comes to official engagement and talking to in a public manner. How does she feel about Meghan Markle? Ooh, the Seven of Swords. How does Queen Camilla feel about Meghan Markle? She knows that she's a cheater. She's a trickster. Camilla knows. It takes one to know one. She knows. The Eight of Pentacles. What does Queen Camilla think of Meghan Markle? Oopsie daisy. And King of Pentacles. Behind that, the Eight of Swords and the Ten of Cups. So let's look at these three cards. So the first card is the strongest usually. Her impression, her idea, what she thinks of Meghan, that she's a trickster. She's unloyal. She's a liar. She is a traitor. That she is inauthentic, organically inauthentic, to use Meghan Markle's wishy-washy language. But that she is very ambitious. And that she will not stop in front of anything. She will keep going at it. She will keep working until she gets the money. No matter what kind of tools, honest or dishonest, she will use. Interesting. She wants to get the money. She wants to put her hands on wealth, on title, on finances, on riches, on houses, on power that Harry has the potential to get to, especially if he actually manages to get back into the folds of the royal family. What does she think about their marriage? What does Queen Camilla think about the marriage between Prince Harry and Meghan Markle? What does Camilla think about the marriage between Harry and Meghan? Multiple cards again. We have the Three of Wands. Actually, the first card I was showing was the Three of Pentacles. The Three of Wands. What else? What does she think about the marriage between Harry and Meghan? Oh, the Moon. There's a secret here. First of all, with this Ten of Cups and the Eight of Swords, I really feel like this is not a happy union and it's not a happy family. It might show on the surface as, as a union, as a collaboration. Maybe she feels like it's more of a business collaboration at this point, where they're both working because they want to get as much in gains as possible out of it. But it's not as it seems. What we see is not the reality of their marriage. There's a big secret here. There's something that is hidden by the clouds, something that is hidden by the darkness. Things are not as they appear. There's a cage here. So this Three of Pentacles followed by the Three of Wands. It's more like a business collaboration. It's more like a business. It's like a contract. They're keeping it up. It's about appearances with this Moon card. It's about appearances. But in reality, there's no real happiness. None. Unable to be happy. But they made it. They made their beds. These two cards, the Eight of Swords is about negative self-beliefs, wrong convictions, ideas, unfortunately, in cages and mental cages that you have created for yourself. You might change your situation if you only wanted to. But it feels like she believes that they made their bed. They made their unhappiness. But in reality, it's just a business collaboration. What does she think that is going to happen in the future? Ooh. The Hangman in reverse. The Nine of Cups in reverse. And the Star in reverse. Wow. She doesn't believe that anything is going to go according to Harry's wishes in the end. He's stuck in this situation. He really is. It really feels like there's no way out for him. If he wants to be, part of the royal family again, it feels like there are conditions for him that at the moment he cannot satisfy, like divorcing, for example, which is something that came out clearly in the reading that I did about the meeting between Charles and Harry, and the fact that the hidden thoughts, something that King Charles hasn't revealed to Harry, is that he wishes his son divorced. So she doesn't believe that there's any hope of a happy ending for Harry. All right, so this was my reading about the neglected Queen Camilla. I always ask questions about the other people involved in this saga, and I neglected her. But how interesting it is that she's actually keeping herself out. He's letting Charles make his decisions because it's a family matter. It's something that in the end she doesn't really have any saying in. And that for the moment she's taking care of herself, trying to heal. All right. Thank you so much for watching. Please don't forget to like, share, subscribe, hit the notification bell on the way out. And let me have your feedback. Your constructive and respectful comment is always appreciated. I love interacting with my viewers. I love the information and the interesting input that you always put in your comments. And if you wish to receive a personal reading, you can contact me at the email address you will find in the description of all my videos. I'm just an email away. Until I see you next time, many blessings and thank you for watching.